Hi, I'm Robert from Armichael Artist. I have a painting here called The Dream, painted by Pablo Picasso. And this was a series that he had done from 1932 to 1937. It was one of his mistresses. Her name was Marie Therese Walter. And he made approximately about 10 of these paintings of her in very risque looking, usually nude, or oftentimes where a breast was looking, but most of the time you saw a lot of her upper body. This one here specifically illustrates her sleeping in an armchair, which is basically the title. In English version it's called The Dream, and in the French version it's called Le Rêve. Now, the whole idea behind many of Picasso's paintings is that this was still part of a Cubist style that he used. Even early in the 20th century, as he was experimenting with geometric shapes, he sort of moved into more of a humanistic idea, even though he had painted many figurative paintings in the 1800s. But the idea with this was that his mistress was supposed to be very flamboyant, really full of a lot of color, and voluptuous. Now, as he is painting this, he always used a form of trickery in the face. If you look close enough within the face, you see that in all of Picasso's paintings, there was sort of this half division of the face. If you look closely, this side is Marie's face with her lips, and this is Picasso's face with his lips, and basically they're kissing. Again, Marie Therese was his absolute favorite mistress, and he adored her. So as you can see, the way it is painted, it is very much in that sense. You see a lot of heavy saturations. Now, I actually painted this, as I painted most of Picasso's paintings, often using the same format. I'll usually go from a screen and paint throughout that, creating almost a virtually in diameter the same concept. Colors might be off a little bit, but in this case, you can look at 5 different photographs and they'll all have some kind of color variation that just doesn't seem to go together with the other one. I've matched this to about as close as I have seen about 5 photos of it, and even copied it from the auction where Stephen Cohen was actually selling it to Steve Wynn. And Steve Wynn basically purchased it for $85 million. Now, as the situation goes, is that Steve Wynn had some guests over, and because of an eye disease he has, he can only see through tunnel vision, and he put his elbow actually through the canvas. And so it delayed the sale. And as a result of that, it cost $85,000 to repair the actual canvas. Now, because of that, it sort of nulled the deal. And by the way, I'm sorry I said this was Steve Wynn selling Le Rêve to Stephen Cohen, other way around. So as a result, it lowered the value from $135 million basically to a value that wouldn't be worth a whole lot unless it was repaired. Anyway, after the repair, they had it revalued. It was revalued at $155 million. And as you can see, this painting is going to go to a customer of mine. I always sign, even though I do master paintings, I always sign Armichael after Picasso. Believe me, I am not a Picasso, but there's a lot of people who love Picasso paintings, and I will never do any sort of master painting without recognizing the actual artist. They are copywritten, they have been approved, so as a result, here is one of the paintings, and I hope you enjoy it.